are, even though some of us might have some tools. And this is that's how I see these practices. They're tools that when you know how to use them, they allow you to get to know yourself better, and then use them whenever you need them. Oh, I notice I'm feeling anxiety, so instead of drinking 3 liters of coffee, I am going to take 10 seconds and breathe. And that's, I feel, is the application. So it's not like some mysterious abstract knowledge, but
yeah, that's why actually I created the webinars in the first place early in March or mid-March when it started, because I've been really lucky, for the last 2.5 years to have started Embody Wellness and to have been surrounded with wellness and practitioners who bring all kinds of different things, like you said, tools that I've been learning. And I was like, oh, this is great. And if I hadn't learned them in the last 2 years, I think I would have been totally going crazy right now. So the fact that we I was able to create this toolkit of breathing practices and movement and, taking care of myself and eating well and all of those things that, I've been accumulating throughout my life, but also, learning from different practitioners, it helps us. And also, like, some people might want to use one thing in one situation. Other people want to use something else, right? Everyone is different. So I think that's why it's important to give all kinds of different tools. And that's one of the reasons for this webinar. So go ahead. Sorry to.
Yeah, no. And what you've created, I mean, with Embody Wellness, I've been also following your journey, and it's really, it's amazing. And it's, for one side, I know creating something out of nowhere, like somebody from outside, just like, a bunch of webinars. No, it takes a lot of work. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of really thriving and really having the strength inside to put forward something like that. And then that benefits all of us, because it's not as common to have a space, especially for women, when we can all share different practice from different cultures, from different point of view. And then some of them you connect better than others. But that's the beauty of it, no? The variety.
Exactly.
And so we today, I want to invite you to explore the inner body and the subtle sensations that come when you connect with the breathing. And this is basically what we do in yoga, and other Eastern practices too, like martial arts, Tai Chi, and we can say even like athletes probably do something like that too, where you practice is basically a dance between breath and movement. So you move and you breathe in a coordinated manner, and that requires you to be really present. It requires concentration, because you can easily slip away of the breath and then you lose all the dynamics. So you need to concentrate, you need to be present. And when you are breathing consciously and being present, then you get meditation. That's like the basic definition of meditation. So this movement, and this is how I was taught to see the yoga, the asana practice, which is the physical practice of yoga, as a form of meditation. Doesn't mean that you're not going to have any thoughts, but that always happens. The thing is that you bring your mind back to the breathing and the movement. And in yoga, we call, you mentioned at the beginning, we call the breathing practice by itself pranayama. It's a combination of breathing exercises that include breathing retention, so the retention of the breath, and that they can become really complex. So it's a practice on itself, and the whole point is to bring clarity and stillness to the mind. And like I mentioned, yoga, at least in Ashtanga, which is a very, when I say dynamic, is to use a nice word, but really it is a very intense physical practice. It can get really intense. And so even for us, they tell us, you have to breathe. If you don't breathe, you're just making all these like nice poses, take a picture and put it on Instagram, but you are not really getting the benefit inside. And then sometimes that's why it's almost better, you don't have to worry to do the fancy pose. if you're doing the breathing correctly, because you'll get the same benefit.
Yeah, you know, recently I was we had I don't know if it was here in one of the in-person classes, but with in Taoism and with some of the practices there, it's I'm sure it's very similar, right? But the practitioner was describing how we breathe with our diaphragms, right? And in a way, it almost looks like, you know, it's the internal movement, right? As we're doing the external movement, we're allowing all of those, you know, the diaphragms and muscles to move as well. So otherwise, if you're just moving, then in everything else is still inside, you're just kind of closing off that internal part, right? And first time it clicked for me, because, you know, when I did practice yoga before, and people were like, the yoga teachers were, you know, breathe into your movement, and I was like, what does that even mean, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very common cue with the breathe into your hips, and you're like, how am I supposed to breathe into my hips? I know we all have made that we all sinners on that. I always say that. Also, breathe into your arms. I'm like,
but, you know, one day it makes sense. You know, one day you're doing it and you feel it, and you're like,
yeah,
now it makes sense. But it, you know, I wish people could explain it better. So I think it's like, it's a I guess it's a practice thing. It's not really an explanation type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a connection. Just like you make connections with very subtle muscles you don't use normally, and then when you click, you notice them. And so we use this breath to reduce the stress, to reduce anxiety, but also to control the way that we respond to situations. No, it's not the same to take a moment. And this is also common knowledge. You know, when you get mad, first thing somebody tells you is, wait, take a breath. So it actually functions. And so that's coming from the yoga tradition, but there's also the science behind it is a lot, and it's fascinating. So breathing, and I'm not expert, but I have read, then I'm going to give you some recommendations if somebody's more interested in this topic. But breathing has a direct impact on the nervous system. And so we have the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, which sympathetic, just really short, sympathetic is basically the fight and flight system, not the one that coordinates the body responses to dangerous situation or stressful situations. In other words, this is the one that is make you run away when the tiger is chasing you, no? Going back to our first days on this earth. And then the parasympathetic is the one that allows for the functions of healing to take place, relaxation, but then also more important things like digestion, because our body is very, which I'm sure you've talked about this before, is very efficient, and it has its own intelligence. So if you are trying to run away from your life, your body stops digestion. You don't need to digest your food if you're not going to make it. So it's not needed. You focus on your muscles, on being strong, on being like active, of running away. Now, if you bring all of that to today's life, most of us are not running away from being chased by tigers, but we are constantly in this state because of all the different activities we get into, the alerts, all the information, the coffee, and please don't take anything against coffee. I love coffee. I drink it all the time. But
I know, I was gonna say, I've seen you drink.
Yeah, I drink it all the time.
Venezuelan, you can't help it, right?
It's not the coffee, it's you.
Yeah.
So it's just a way of saying, you know, like the going like really, really strong, like not stopping, just going. And when you are in that state, there are certain things in your body that are not going to happen, like digest. So then we worry, why is that I get all these gases and all this problem with digestion?
Yeah, our immune system shuts down completely too, right? Because we don't really care about bugs anymore. We care about running away from that tiger.
Exactly. We have to survive. and so the breath helps on this particular topic. Really, it's like a very mechanical thing. For example, if you inhale and exhale, right? If you take longer exhalations, you're calming your nervous system and you're going to that parasympathetic system. So if you have to calm yourself, inhaling, exhaling deeply, but making even deeper exhalation helps. And then other, like the alternate nostril breathing, which we're going to practice later on in a few minutes, also help to balance the energy and the both sides of the brain. So this breathing technique and there's research behind this, which I'm gonna tell you then the book that I really recommend if people are interested in more like the science behind yoga and different yoga practices.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes, because it's very nice book. And so that's on the breathing, but then also there's the movement, no? And the movement, we are maybe more familiar with science behind the benefits of the movement in the body. There's a ton of research showing how exercise, not only yoga, but different type of exercises have a direct impact in the brain and improving cognition, in the connection of neurons, besides burning toxins, helping in sleep, blood circulation, preventing chronic diseases. I've read different studies especially with people that are older and that have chronic diseases, how like just walking for an hour or even like half an hour a day makes a huge impact in their physical and also emotional well-being.
For sure.
And
yeah,
so,
no, one of the, I forgot, that was one of the reasons I wanted also to invite you, is because, a lot of us are still stuck at home, right? A lot of us will not have access to gyms and things like that in a long term, maybe medium to long term. So what yoga offers is an opportunity. You have your body and you have everything you need. You don't really need anything else, right? I mean, you have to learn some of the moves, of course, but there are a lot of also things online available, right? So I think it's one of the best ways. I think for me, yoga has been a way to really keep my sanity in the last couple of months, because my daughter is at home, so I can't really spend time doing something else. So we do things together, and it's a really practical way of doing things at home when we don't have access to other gyms, other facilities that offer us more movement, right?
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite things of yoga, is that I don't need anything, just my mat, and I can do it anywhere. I just need to bring myself to the mat, which sometimes can be difficult, but besides that, it's a very practical activity if you think about it from that point of view. And there's definitely a lot, especially after I think this month, there's a lot of stuff online, a lot of teacher teaching online. I do ask people to be careful, because you always have to listen to your body, and we are not all the same. None of us are the same. So I can do something that seems very easy because I have that flexibility, but that same movement can cause an injury to a different person who doesn't have the same flexibility. So we're trying to do something positive, not turn it into something negative. But definitely it's an amazing tool. And I must say, like, so just a personal experience. So my dad passed away 2 years ago, and I felt that it was thanks to the tools I had from yoga that I was able to remain relatively strong during the first, it was like a very sort of sudden situation during the first days of that, because I couldn't do yoga at that time, because I was so tense, I couldn't even move. But the breathing, the chanting, just doing some stretches, just being able of like knowing that I can move and that I have my body, that my body is my home basically.
Yeah.
So if I have the tools to access to my own body, then I'm okay. The world will fall apart, but at least I have myself that I can rely on. And so I think that that's one of the things that is more useful. And I don't know if you can connect to it with somebody tells you, but really I invite people to, when they do their own practices, whatever it is, even if you're doing other type of exercise, to really connect and like be conscious that this is your body and this is how you experience the world. And things can go wrong, businesses can go wrong, like experiences, relationships, but at the end you will always have your body while you're alive, obviously. So
that's beautiful.
You know.
No, thank you for sharing that story, because it's like, it's exactly what it is. You know, we often don't respect what we have, right? Our body is, we kind of either use it for aesthetic purposes, right, sometimes, or we just ignore it. And this is the greatest tool we have, and it's the only one we have, right, for life. So the more we can connect to it, the more we can understand what's happening there. Like you said, the more we can not only handle what's happening on the outside, but we can create our own reality in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Independent of what's happening. So thanks for sharing that. I think it's really powerful.
Yes, and before I forget, the book, if you like this topic, it's called One Simple Thing by Eddie Stern. And Eddie Stern is one of my teachers. He's very famous. He's an Ashtanga teacher in New York. And he's—
How do you spell his name?
Eddie, like Eddie.
I-E, and then his last name?
Stern, Stern. And it's One Simple Thing.
Send it in the chat.
Exactly. And I think it's also translated in different languages, and he has a bunch of research that he reviews about. He has a lot of yoga knowledge, and so he's very passionate about the science, and it's a really nice, he put it in a really nice way. It's amazing really what science has been able to prove of practices that were kind of like, oh yeah, those are like just the yogi things, but they do have scientific benefits.
Awesome.
And so I thought that maybe we could do, after giving this sort of like background, do a little practice where we can first do some movements. I mean, we're sitting down, but we can do some movement sitting down, which might also be useful for people that work all the time in a desk. And then we can do some breathing exercises, some pranayamas, so that we can feel how it feels.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Let's, whoever wants to join by video can join by video, or you can just do it as you like. I'm gonna join you in doing it. So sitting down, right?
Yeah, well, because I don't know how people are in what situation. So
no, and like you said, it's very practical. It's really practical because a lot of us, you know, some people will be going back to work, and so maybe, you know, knowing how to do these things in limited settings, we can definitely. Hi, Daniele. Very good. Yeah, you can definitely. It's very useful, right, to be able to do this.
Yeah, and
setting as you can. So
yeah, and I work all day also sitting down. So I do this as it's just stretches. But what I'm going to invite you to do is that while we stretch, you pay attention to the breath. You can feel free to close your eyes or keep them open, but just be conscious of the breath and the muscles that you're using. So we'll start with normal just movements that I normally do for stretching. So starting with the wrist, so doing the wrist movements and just inhaling and exhaling through the nose and trying to just notice if there's any tension in them. Notice if there's any different one on the other. You can go around the other side. And then one for the wrist I really like, which I also use when I practice handstands for a while, is just grabbing the wrist and then bringing the hand like that. So you feel the stretch on this part.
These could be good also for people who use their phones a lot, right?
Yes. Or if you even if you type a lot.
Typing, like, yeah, typing.
Yeah.
That
okay,
hurts me a lot.
The other hand. Okay, and then we can shake. And then we can do some shoulders. Just big circles down and up. And so try to notice, oh, do I feel tension around my neck, or maybe it's under in my back? Then we can go around the other side.
Giuliana, is there a right way to do, like, when do you do the breathe in, breathe out in terms of the movements? How to time it?
In this movement, for example, that you're like inhaling that you're putting your chest out and then exhaling, and you're curving your back. So inhaling, chest up, exhaling, curving the back, inhaling, chest up, and exhaling, curving the back. So normally, just like in yoga, when you inhale, when you do these movements of opening the chest, you tend to inhale, and then when you make these movements like the cat and cow, you tend to exhale. So that's basically the way the breath will go. And then we can do some neck. Do your preference. I like to do this sort of like half circle to one side, and then half circle to the other side. Half circle and circle. All right, and then we can end with bringing the arms up, inhaling and arms up, and really try to reach, like if you're ready for somebody to pull you up from the hands, and exhaling, bring the arms down. Again, inhaling up, really reach that you notice the space within the ribs. Notice how your ribs separate. And then exhaling, come down. We'll do last time, inhaling up. And exhaling down. Okay, so I tend to do some of those combinations or some twists. Also, let's do a twist because I forgot to add it. Let's just twist to the right. And when you twist, so you inhale first and then exhale, do the twist. Try to keep the back straight. So don't curve like this. Try to keep your back and your chest up. And you twist and then you keep breathing. And some people find it difficult to breathe during the twist, but just try to increment slowly the air that you put into your body. And then go back to center, inhale, and then exhale, twist. So when you're in yoga and you're trying to do a twist, you're trying to reach further, you normally inhale, and it's in the exhalation when you try to twist a little bit more. So you inhale, you create space, that's what we say, you basically lift the ribs, and then exhale, twist. Okay, and then we go back to the center. So the breathing, the making space within the ribs is really one thing that we say a lot when we're doing yoga, but I find it's very useful because sometimes we reach from like the shoulders, but we don't think about the torso. And if you reach from the ribs, where you basically, if you're reaching from the ribs, you're really increasing the length on this side, and that gives you space and also gives you strength. So that's an interesting side note, not related, but interesting to
It
know.
works your inner, like the what's it called, the core muscles also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's cool.
And then if you're gonna make a twist, it like gives you more space to twist. Okay, so then what I wanted to do now is do some pranayama exercises. These are accessible to everybody. If there's one that is not recommended for pregnant women. So if there's any, I'll let you know which one it is. But in general, these are very basic, good for everybody. And so we're gonna start. We're sitting down. We're going to place the hands on the knees, and we're gonna sit with the back straight. We're going to do 10 resonance breathing. And we basically, what we do is we inhale and exhale for 6 seconds. So we're trying to lengthen the inhalation and the exhalation. We use the throat to control the breath, the air intake and the air outtake. And you're going to experience, it might work, it might not, but if you need to breathe before, it's fine. I will count the breath at the beginning. What we do is that we use Om. So we inhale and we do Om, 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 and those are roughly 6 seconds. And then we exhale and then we do Om, 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 Om. And then that's how we count, that's how I count for myself. And that also, Eddie Stern actually taught me that. I learned it from him, that Om counting. So when you do this breathing, one thing that I would suggest is, going back to what we were talking before, think about breathing with your back. But why? Because with like this part, because most of our lungs are here. Like this is like where the higher amount of lungs is. They're not here, they're in the back. So if you think about breathing with your whole lung, and you can think about it the way you might imagine the way the lung looks, but try to breathe deeply and breathe with that area there. Try to feel the air that comes there. And this is a very calming breath. And so we're going to try it. Just sit and close your eyes, and I will count. Or you can keep your eyes open as you prefer. So we're going to inhale, and always from the nose. We're going to inhale. Om, 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 Om. And then we're going to exhale. Om, 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 Om. Again, inhale. And exhale. Really controlling the air coming out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All right, now open your eyes, breathe normally. The next one that we're going to do is opposite nostril breathing, or Nadi Sodhana. And we're going to use our hand, right hand, and basically use the this finger and then the ring finger. And we're going to use those to close our nostrils, because we're going to breathe through one only and then through another one only. And so here again, we'll try to keep we're not going to do any holding of the breath, but we'll try to do the inhalation and exhalation for 6 seconds each. And this breathing has, besides being calming for the mind, it also balances the energy from both sides of the brain and overall in our body. So that's why we do this one. And there's different combinations. We'll do one to show you how it works. So we're gonna inhale with both nostrils. And then close your right, and exhale through the left. And then inhale left. Close and exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. And then place both hands in the knees. Close your eyes and breathe normal. Try to notice any sensation. Okay, now open your eyes, and now we're going to do another type, which is called Bastrika. This is a more energizing type of breathing. And if you have low tension, you can try, but if you feel dizzy, you just stop. And so basically what we do is with the hands, we place the hands like this and go around that finger. And what we're going to do is bring our arms up, and then we're gonna bring them down. So we're gonna inhale, arms up, and then exhale down. And it's not like a strength movement. It's more like an energizing movement. So you bring the arms up and exhale down, and arms up and exhale down. So we're gonna do that 8 times and see how we feel. Okay, so inhale.
Giuliana, sorry, is it straight arms up? I can't see.
So let's see if I can show you. So the arms are straight, and then when we break, we bend them and then bring them down. So arms and then bend them and down, like with the elbows going back. Okay. So let's do 8 times and see how it goes. Well, let's start. Inhale. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And keep the hands down. So it gives you like this energy feeling. We're gonna do it again. I'm not gonna count, so do it on your own. And you close the hands. And then when you bring the arms up, inhale. 1, 2. And rest the hands in the knees, close your eyes, and breathe. Again, pay attention to any sensation and see if it's different from before, if it is the same. Maybe you don't feel anything, it's also okay. Okay, now open the eyes, and then I'm going to show you one that is a very calming breath, actually. So
this one was like more energizing, right?
Yeah, this was energizing. So the yeah, like almost like you feel like whoa. Yeah, it's actually this one is good when you're like sleeping. You're like, okay, or like it's 2 p.m. and you're like in the computer. You're like, okay, I need to like wake up.
Almost like coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So this next one is the opposite. It's very calming, and it's like almost the world it's like going crazy, and you just do this. It's like you're close inside yourself, and it has a mudra in the face, which you're free to do it or not. I love the mudra, but you can also do it without the mudra. So the breathing by itself is just basically doing like the Om sound, but with the mouth closed, and noticing the vibration inside the head. So you will do that. You will inhale. Om. So this is you feel the vibration inside. You concentrate on that. Now the mudra, which is the extra, it's I'll show you. So it's with the hands, and you basically close your ears with the fingers, and you close your eyes with these 2 fingers, and you close your mouth like this. So it's subtle. You don't need to press into your eyes a lot. And you close your ears, and now you inhale and do the sound. Om. We're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale. Inhale. When you're done, keep your eyes closed. Bring the hands to the knees and breathe normally. Take a few minutes to bring your attention back to the breath. Notice the air coming in through your nose and coming out through your nose. Focus on the mechanics of breathing. So the air in, inflating your chest and your belly, and then the air out, deflating your belly and your chest, leaving your nose. Inhale in, notice the temperature of the air when it enters your nose. And exhale out, notice again the temperature of the air when it leaves your body. Try to feel your body breathing without anything else to do. You don't have to plan or move or figure out anything. Just allow your body to breathe. When a thought comes into your mind, imagine that it is a cloud in a blue sky, and allow the thought to pass, just like clouds in the sky. Notice the thought, but do not follow it. Allow it to pass. And bring your mind back to the air that comes in through your nose and out of your nose. And in your next inhale, take a deeper inhalation. Fill your chest with air, your belly with air, and then exhale through the mouth. Again, inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Last deep inhalation. Exhale through the mouth. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And since we did some practice, we're gonna do an Om together. Just to finish these breathing exercises, you can bring your hands to the chest. And if you want, we can chant together, inhaling. Namaste. So that is a very little test. Thank you. It's a little show of some breathing exercises. As you can see, there's some for energies, some for relaxation, but overall you can use them. Easy to use. You don't need to do like a very long practice. It just takes a little bit of concentrating, and our mind sort of like expands.
That's really beautiful, because it's you don't think of those things as something that's gonna make a big difference, but even how many minutes did we take breathing? Like less than 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I already feel like I was kind of feeling tired today, and I'm already feeling more energized, more relaxed at the same time, and the stretching also just opens up, right, your range of movement. So it's such small things, but we often forget to do it, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. It's a reminder in really good ways that you showed. I mean, for example, the breathing into the back, I thought that was really helpful, because I could feel it for the first time. I don't think I ever thought of that, right? Like the lungs are in the back. It's true. I did study anatomy, but
well, you know about that better than I do.
Yeah. But you don't think of that, right? When you breathe, you're just, we're so taught to like, or not taught. We're not taught to breathe correctly, right? So we're, with the stress and everything, we end up breathing with our chest a lot, right? So we forget.
And also it is that we forget, and then when we are stressed, we forget even more. Yeah. Notice next time that you are like, very busy doing a lot of things, how your breath likely is going to be very shallow. So you like ventilate almost, like you breathe in a very shallow manner when you are stressed, or when you like doing a lot of things. So on that time when you cut yourself, so this is what we try to learn, how to cut ourselves, and then you like take a deep breath, but really deep, so deep that you almost feel like you're gonna break apart, because you were so tense, so like close, that just taking a big breath, it seems like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now I can see things more clearly. I'm also amazed by how little you need to like feel better.
For sure.
And a lot of people, I don't have time, but it doesn't really take that much.
No, it really doesn't. We really, and we underestimate the small things, right? We always think that we have to do something much bigger in order to see a difference. And we underestimate the importance of the small things, right? Like the breathing. And even, I think, I work a lot with people on or not as much anymore, but before, nutrition. And people sort of see it as either they don't eat well or they eat all the way well, right? And they don't see a medium ground, right? Where you can do gradual steps, and the gradual steps will make a big difference, right? Even one healthy meal that you choose to do for yourself will make a difference for your health and for your well-being. It's the same thing with, with movement and breath.
Yeah, one extra cup of water, it'll make a difference.
Yep, that's why I always walk around with this thing.
There's some people commenting, yes, somebody was exhausted, Danielle, and these breaths are really, they're really great for meditation. Actually, before I tend to do some sort of breathing before doing meditation, because if you have your mind like going around, this really helps you to sort of bring yourself back. And using that mudra in the face is like you close yourself to yourself. So it's really helpful. Yeah,
I actually had no idea. I tried to do meditation for the past, I don't know how many years, and breathing with my ex-yoga teacher was kind of the one who encouraged me to do more of the pranayamas. And one day I was just breathing and I was like, wait, I think I just did meditation. I didn't even notice. So it kind of sneaks up on you, which is a good kind of sneaking up, right? So
yeah, I have a doubt. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Jackie.
Yeah.
So about the mudra, should we close our nostrils with the fingers or just put it below it?
No, you put the fingers below the nostrils, because then you cannot breathe.
Yeah, I thought so.
Then if your mouth is closed and your nostrils are closed, you might have difficult time breathing. I don't know, maybe you.
No, can you do the movement again, the mudra? So I'll take a pic, like so then I know how to do it.
Yes, it's called Brahmari and pranayama, and then so it's basically you close your eyes and your ears, and you put these two fingers on top of the lips and the other ones down the lips, and so you have your lips also closed.
Okay, thanks. And the breathing, you do it like
you inhale through the nose, and then you do that om sound, but with the mouth closed, like mumbling, okay. And you elevate it to feel like the vibration of the om, especially when you close your ears, you can feel it like all in your brain.
Brahmari, is it called? It's called.
Yeah, Brahmari pranayama.
Okay, thank you so much. It was
You're
wonderful.
Welcome.
Yeah. Anyone else? Does anyone have a question? Giuliana is. I'm really, I really like bringing in people like you do, because it's like you are not really. You work with other things as well. You're not just a yoga teacher, right? So it's like you know how it is to be in a stressed out, 9 to 5, or even I don't know how long hours that you work, jobs, and the fact that you're able to combine it. I think that's one of the things that I really want to show with our webinars here, is that you don't have to be a yoga teacher and go away on retreats for ages to obtain the benefits. You can do it in a short amount of time. Whatever you have available for yourself, it does make a difference. So I really appreciate it that you shared.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going on retreats is beautiful.
Of course, it's great. Yeah, exactly. But
but most of us don't have the time to be doing that all the time. So anything you can do, like my normal practice, it takes 2 hours. But I don't always have 2 hours. So sometimes I have only half an hour. So half an hour I do. Or I can only just go walking, and then that's what I do. Or even just sit and do some meditation. I like to do 15 minutes, but sometimes I only can sit for 3 minutes. You'll be amazed how difficult it is to sit down and meditate for 3 minutes. Yeah. It's hard, like to stop yourself, like to try not to go around, and not like you're going to be thinking with your eyes closed. You're trying to really concentrate. So any practice that you do and that you do it daily is really, at the end, it really helps you. That's what I find with my experience. And like you said, I don't live like a old yoga life, because I have all the things also. And so for me, these are wonderful tools that serve me for my normal, like in the mat, but also outside the mat.
Amazing, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's really awesome to see you. I think it's been, I don't know how many years. I don't even want to count since I've seen you last. But it's really amazing to see you. And in closing, guys, can I just, I just wanted to share one thing with you, because, I think we learn all these amazing things from our practitioners, from our, from people that I welcome to the webinars. A lot of things already, but we often fail to actually practice them on the day-to-day. So I just want to share with you very quickly a program that I've put together. It's a 21-day journey. And all it is just basically, we're going to take, it starts on June 21st. Here you can see it. Can you guys see it? Or am I not sharing it yet? Hold on, I think I'm not. Oh no, I'm sharing it yet. So this 21-day journey is something I wanted to invite you to consider for on June 21st. And the idea is every day we're going to be looking at a different aspect of our health and well-being, to understand that the big transformations that we want in our life really start with the small changes, right? So we're going to look at habit change, healthy living, but also like purpose and what we really want to accomplish in life. And this is we're gonna look at it in a really simple document that you're gonna prepare by the end of the 21-day journey, where you're gonna incorporate, you know, what you're like, for example, what Giuliana shared, you know, waking up and doing the pranayamas, for example, for a couple of minutes in the morning, or, you know, preparing a smoothie for you, and you know, kind of planning out your wellness routines throughout the day, because we often forget to do it, right? Not to say you have to stick to the hour, but I think having it on your fridge really helps. So it's going to be a 21-day, it's 21 days also is the time it takes for us to change our habits, right? So I think a lot of you have heard of that. And we're going to just, this is kind of what it's going to look like, right? We're going to talk about, we're going to receive videos, audios, and text about movement, breathing, nutrition, sexuality, and also reconnection to our body. So if you're interested, I'm going to just share this link here at the end. Just take a look at it, and if you think someone might benefit from it, it'll be a nice way for you to, without going on a retreat, to be able to kind of do it on a day-to-day basis for 21 days. So thanks again, Giuliana.
It was lovely. Thank you so much for having me. It was really
next time I want to do an actual Ashtanga class with you.
We'll do a yoga class next time.
Please.
Okay, thank you everybody that joined too.
Take care of yourself and say hi to everyone there. Bye-bye.
I will. Bye-bye.
Bye, Joe.